My name is Dr. Von Crazy, and welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles X. Last time, Vandom told us to come to him when we're ready to take on the challenge to get our Skell license.
Hard out there.
Hey there, are you settling in alright? Getting used to life as a blade? Yeah, it's second nature to me now. Excellent, glad to hear it. I know you've been through the damn ringer lately, but you're still doing good work. Anything to ask me about? Any worries or requests? No need to hold back. I'm in a good mood today, so your head will probably stay on your shoulders. It's only natural for a commander to want to keep tabs on his people, alright? So come on, lay it on me. Skells. Let's talk about Skells. Oh yeah! That's right, I forgot you didn't have one. Wait, you don't even have a Skell license, do you? Oop, sorry about that. Oversight on my part. No, damn say it was. It's been a while. You need a license to pilot a Skell, see? We only issue them to blades with a proven track record. That way we know they have the skill to make use of them. Given your track record, I'm tempted to issue one right now, but it ain't standard operating procedure. Wouldn't be fair to the others, you know? But clear the license exam and it's all yours. We've got 8 quests, one for each of the Blade divisions. The Pathfinders ask us to install a specific data point in Primordia. The Interceptors ask you to defeat 12 Blitz Bladders. Okay, fine, be that way. The Harriers want you to defeat at North Point Cove. Appearances rare, wonderful. I love it when they do that. The Reclaimers ask you to obtain a solar starship map. That'll probably be in one of the treasures on the map. The Curators want you to collect these items, the big fleece squashes, rock armadillos, and multi-speckled ladybugs, which I'm only missing one out of all of them, and it's the one in Primordia, of course. The Prospectors ask you to use Frontier Nav to earn over 15,000 credits in a single return. The Outfitters are asking you to get an examination weapon and test it out on some indigents, probably. And the Mediators want you to complete these specific quests. I've already done all of those, so I should be completing that one immediately. Once you get your 8 certifications done, go tell Walter in the hangars. Then once you pass the final exam, you'll officially be a Skell pilot. Pretty exciting, yeah? Ha! Sure it is! But getting you in a Skell will be good news for us Blades, too. I've got high hopes for you. Good luck! Which one is that? Is 8 the only? Oh no, I've done 1 as well. Okay, good. I really did think I'd completed that one. If you haven't completed the Pathfinder quest, it's FN Site 117 over here. Currently, my revenue total is 25,000, so I'll just complete the Reclaimers one very easily, and by Reclaimers I mean Prospectors. Alright, first up, let's see if I can find this Tyrant. Oh, that's super lucky, it showed up on my first try. Oh, and this one's even segment recon, according to that, thing. Shots! The Flash is our target for this mission. Shouldn't be too much trouble, especially since I've got TP for an overdrive right now. So let's just fill it full of bullets to get that count up. Let's hit it with our art and then knock it down. Keep it toppled for a bit longer. Wild smash. Throw down the power dive so I can get a bunch of count off this furious blast. Last stand to get more time. trash talk to get more TP. This build has been working so freaking well, man. I did not expect this to go even half as well as it's been going, honestly. I thought I was just making a silly little topple build that wouldn't actually work super well after I got overdrive. But this has been going so nicely every time. It's by no means the best build you can make, but it's been going so much better than I expected. Oh, and there's a treasure over there. Might as well nab it. It's so tempting to take the squad mission, but I can't do it. I'm doing Skell missions right now. What are these? Proficiency Exam 5. Oh, that's the multi-speckled ladybugs. They're up on the cliff, though, it looks like. How do I get up there? I guess I just go to Sickle Rock Rise, and then I can find those guys. Yeah, I thought they might be right here. Somewhere around here. Should be our ladybug. Aha! I see one. Just jump up here, and I'll take that. Nice. Halfway there already. Oh, and there's the Frontier Nav Revenue one. I just went to Noctilum to do the other one. I've got the Blitzblatters tracked on my map right now. They're most commonly found near the Nopon Caravan. Or at least most easily found near the Nopon Caravan. We've passed by them a bunch on our way. They're level 12? What the heck? Kinda thought they'd be a bit more powerful than this, considering the game is asking me to do this at this time. I mean, sure, there's a good number of them, but they're all really weak. This is not gonna take very long, man. Right, this will be the last one. Only 7 actually spawn in the cave. So, you're gonna have to use some script travel shenanigans to actually get them all. It just kinda takes a while because there's just a lot of them. Next up, let's talk to the Outfitters. Right. Toller is here in front of this building, the AM building. And he's got his own special missions for us. Greetings, you must be the one undergoing the Skell license examination. I work with the Outfitters in product testing. I have 3 weapons for you today. You will use one of them to hunt indigents. Remote weapon usage monitoring is a crucial source of data for arms manufacturers. Your cooperation in this process is most appreciated. I'm not tracking that. Hold on. We need to defeat 3 giant Grexes with a trial knife, 3 giant Grexes in Primordia with an assault rifle, or with the trial sword. I've got Gwyn in the party right now, so I guess he can take it. Oh my god, I never changed Gwyn's equipment from the base stuff that it comes with. Alright, I should maybe do that. Trial Sword's actually pretty good. It's got melee attack up 4. There, those look a bit better. That's nice. The Grexes you need to find can be found near the Talon Rock second terrain? Oh, there's only 2 here right now. That's kind of rude. In the original Wii U version, this quest would be kind of annoying if you decided on the Winged Eagle class for your main character, because you just kind of didn't have access to the 2 weapons you actually needed. Or, more accurately, you didn't have access to any of the weapons you actually needed. So you needed to switch your class or find someone who actually used these, which you were definitely not guaranteed to have in your party at the time. I mean, the best knife user you have access to is probably Arena. the best longsword user you probably have access to at this point is definitely Gwyn. Although you do have a few different assault rifle characters to choose from at this point. For some reason, the longsword is kinda underused in this game, I'm realizing. I'm only thinking of like 3 characters that actually use it. Alright, here's the last giant Trex. This shouldn't take too long. There we go, all gone. Just one left. The item we're looking for is near the Humdrum Peaks. Okay, that doesn't seem too hard. Alright, so this is one that just spawns in specifically for this mission. That one definitely wasn't there before. So there's no way you already had the quest item before you started this. Well, I'll just take this, and that wraps that up. I think Vandam's back at the Blade Barracks. Oh no, he's in the hangar, right. Yeah, he told us to go to the hangar. And talk to some other guy that isn't Vandam. Oh, there you are, Walter. There you are. Oh yeah, Walter. I remember the name Walter. That's the guy that was stopping Mia from joining Blade. Commander Vandam told me you'd be stopping by to take the Skell license exam. Do you have your certifications from the 8 proficiency exams? Sure do! Yep, looks like a full set. Nice work. We're ready for the final exam. No need to stress though, it's a simple verbal quiz. We had you run missions on each of the 8 divisions, and there's a reason for that. Care to guess what it might be? Jokes? It was Vandam's way of hazing you? That is great. But let's take this seriously. It was to better understand the role each division plays within Blade. Exactly. Now you've got a feel for each one's particular flavor. Hopefully that's given you a few ideas of how you can put a Skell to use. Anyway, but that's one reason. But there's another. There aren't exactly enough Skells to go around all the divisions. Some situations arise where people have to cross division lines and cooperate to get things done. For efficiency's sake, it's important that everyone knows how the other divisions work. Make sense? Yeah. Good, then you are now cleared to own and operate a Skell. I'll authorize your license now. I also get to share some good news. Looks like you've been given a free Skell, compliments of Vandam. It's parked in the hangar in the back. Go introduce yourself and give it a test ride. Oh, that is demand that everyone on your team receive a free Skell. No, let's appreciate this generosity. Just doing my job. Really, Vandam is the one you should be thanking. He must expect big things from you. It's rare a rookie pilot gets issued a Skell free of charge. I look forward to seeing what you do with it. Where is it exactly? Ooh, cutscene. And there we go, we've got our Skell license. Skells are powerful armored vehicles developed by humanity. Press the ZL button to board or disembark. You can also press L to switch between walker and vehicle modes. Piloting 1 expands your options for exploring Mira, not to mention for battle. However, Skells aren't able to target certain enemies' appendages. So go on foot if you need to destroy those. Also bear in mind that your art selection while in a Skell depends on the weapons it has equipped. so changing your weapon loadout will also change the arts you'll have access to. If you ever stray too far from your Skell, you can also teleport to your Skell from the party menu. And the AM and shop panels have new Skells if you want to buy new Skells. While you're piloting a Skell in combat and a large enemy becomes staggered, you can approach them and press the ZL and ZR buttons to bind them. A bound enemy will be held in place for a certain duration and ensures that hits will be taken, they can't attack, and they get increased damage. Binding is basically a Skell's topple. Instead of going from stagger to topple, you go from stagger to bind. However, unlike topple, there is no way to bind unless the enemy is already staggered. It is a powerful option, but a more restrictive one. While binding an enemy, purple circles will appear one after the other. Press B at the correct time to extend the bind and regenerate fuel. Binds typically last up to 10 seconds, but if you screw up the action command, you will lose the bind early, and if you get a perfect on the action command, you will gain some Skell fuel. Skells can also activate overdrive. It is definitely going to require a bit of explanation. Skell's capabilities are increased during overdrive, but they are not overdrive quite as over as you are on foot. There is a limit to your fuel supply. Fuel is consumed in battle or while using arts, but slowly regenerates while you're not piloting it. You can also refuel your Skells in the Blade Barracks by spending Moranium. Typically, 5,000 Moranium gets you 3,000 units of fuel. This Skell only has 7,650 units of fuel at max, which is not that many. When a Skell is destroyed, it will become unusable then and there, but you can get it fixed up if you have Skell insurance. You will have to go back to the Blade Barracks to replace your Skell. Yeah, I just mentioned that. If you have no Skell insurance, then you will need to either spend a large sum of money or use a salvage ticket to get it retrieved and repaired. This is usually not worth it. The AI has the ability to never lose Skell insurance when their Skell is destroyed, so if you have a Skell that's on one insurance, put it on one of the AI party members. Don't use it yourself. Welcome to the club, Skell Pilot. Before you head into the cockpit, you'll need to assign yourself to the machine. Once that's out of the way, your craft will be sent to the barracks hangar, found via the Customization Center console. Remember this whenever you want to use a new Skell. Well, that would be the case if this Skell weren't automatically registered to your player character, which it is. Now, I'm sure you're excited to get into combat with your brand new shiny Skell, but unfortunately, as it stands, this thing is utterly useless. All it has is a basic gun and melee weapon, and it doesn't even have any arts weapons. Fandom really skimped out on this. It's so terrible. You can't activate any possible soul voices except overdrive ones, I guess. It'll be dealing so much less damage than you would on foot. And its only real perk is that it has a ton of defense and HP. It's actually pretty good for that. In order to make this Skell into something that actually matters, let's head into the Skell gear menu. Yes, heading into the Skell gear. Skells can be equipped with their own weapons. Each Skell can equip weapons in 5 positions on the left and right sides for a total of 10. Weapons equipped in the sidearm slots are auto attacks, while the others give access to arts. Each Skell art has a fixed fuel cost. In addition, some Skells occupy more than one equipment slot, When equipping one of these, icons will be placed between art icons in the arts palette to indicate this. Oh, that wasn't in the Wii U version. That's very nice. Armor components can also be installed on a Skell to one of 5 slots. These do not affect Skell appearance. The armor pieces a Skell can equip are governed by its type. Light types can equip light armor, and the heavier types can equip those weight and lighter. This current Skell is a light type, which means you're not going to be equipping a ton of special armors for it, really. And I also don't have any Skell armors. I really thought I would, because I have actually been getting Skell weapons. Why do I have a level 50 Skell weapon? And it's a pretty good one, too. It's not like some incredible thing, but like, that's okay. Well, I really don't have a lot of special weapons, do I? I guess I'll just put on a railgun on this side and a laser gun on the other side. I don't have a single left shoulder weapon, but I do have right shoulder weapons. Oh, and my only spare weapon is a falchion. It's a decent falchion, though. In addition to full Skell frames, the shop in Armory Alley does sell Skell weapons and armor. The arm weapons tend to be shields, although there are a couple ones that aren't, like these needle guns. Or these miniguns. These are most of Skell's access to buffs, and pretty much, if I remember correctly, these are your only access to auras on a Skell. These auras are definitely very good. I definitely recommend picking one. Potential is not nearly as useful on a Skell as it is on a on-foot party member, so choose ranged attack or melee attack for your aura. I'll probably take the ranged attack. Yeah, I think ranged attack is better. And the buff arts give you a res up buff as well as restoring your appendage HP. These are okay. I mean, you don't really want 2 auras because auras don't stack, but these are not amazing equipment pieces. For spare weapons, you have the Beam Saber, the V-Knuckle, and the Cracker BM. The Cracker inflicts blaze and deals thermal damage. The Knuckle inflicts electric damage and shock. And the Beam Saber is boosted damage against mechanoids, but it's beam damage. I would say probably the V-Knuckle is your best bet because of that critical up effect on it. It just kind of gives you 3 extra crit rate on all of your attacks. The armors you can get are a bit better than the one you currently have. Well, except for this one, I guess. Note the appendage HP stat. Skells have various appendages, just like enemies do, and when those appendages break, you'll lose access to at least one of your arts. Arms make you lose access to 2, and the shoulder and back, respectively, each make you lose access to 1, if I remember correctly. I don't think you'll lose both your shoulder and back weapons at once. Appendage HP in this way is very important. That said, I don't really want to buy Skell armor right now. I've got things set up about how I want them, just for a quick test. While you're riding in a Skell also, any party members on foot will have a defense boost based on how many party members are in a Skell. So, since I have a Skell, then each of my party members has a 20% defense boost. Defense isn't that great in this game, so this very rarely comes into play, but it's there, I guess.
Break them down and make them sweat. Eat
Now that we've actually got a few arts on this thing, where did I put my aura? Oh, look at that. Well, anyway. Oh, yeah! And Skells also don't have Ox energy, which, sucks. A lot, actually. Oh, man. Honestly, even when you've got your Skell decked out like this, it's still not all that great. I mean, I've been doing some great stuff on foot, and this has just been going pretty well so far. I think I'd prefer to stay on foot for most fights right now. Honestly, I don't really like fighting in a Skell that much. The foot combat is much more interesting to me, and it's definitely more powerful, especially right now. You can definitely get some pretty good Skell builds going, but not now. That Skell we have right now is level 20, and I've actually got enough level to get a level 30 version Skell. Skell frames are divided into light, medium, and heavy types, each with its own broad range of Skell models that differ in a variety of ways. Light types tend to have better accuracy, evasion, and mobility, but lower HP. Their fuel tanks are small, so you need to get good value for the fuel. And they're also less expensive. Medium types are balanced in all regards. They have sturdy armor plating, and they're harder to break, but they cost more, I guess. And heavy types are highest in HP and defense, and also attack, and have a large fuel tank, but they have lower evasion, and they also tend to be slowest in their vehicle modes. Generally, the heavy Skells are the best ones. Each Skell, or at least each of these Skells, has a different overdrive effect. The light type Skells have accuracy evasion up, crit chance up, and a cooldown boost. The cooldown boost definitely being the most important one. The urban Skell has damage up, take less range damage, which is strange, and it regenerates the appendages. The Virus has melee weapon attack up, appendage regeneration again, and it grants Reflect Physical, and it's doubled. Reflect is pretty good, honestly, but having it only be physical makes it very niche. Not many enemies use only one element, and especially not many enemies have that one element be physical. Although, actually, I think physical is the most common element for an enemy to have only one element of. Once we get into the medium types, we've got even more overdrive effects. The Lyla takes timed regen, appendage regen, and takes less damage overall, plus it has total immunity to all debuffs. And that includes things like Stagger and Topple. That is pretty nice. The Inferno has your pretty common at this point appendage regen, ranged attack up, and a reflect on thermal. Again, reflect is good, but that's pretty niche. The Mastema has ranged attack up, reflect beam, and takes less damage overall. Again, a very good overdrive. And the Asmodeus has absorb fuel with melee, double crush, in other words, it deals double damage to appendages, and melee attack up. All in all, everything all considered, the Asmodeus is just the best one. It's really good, and I can buy, 12 of them with my money? I have no reason to worry about the price. Oh hey, in this version you can actually assign a pilot to it while you're buying it. That's very nice. Let's go ahead and put some attack armors on this Asmodeus. Kinda lowers my armor a bit, but I'm not super worried about the armor stat. I'd much prefer to increase my resistance stats, just as the same as if I were on the ground. And this also gives me some pretty good additional effects. Or do I want the attack 3s more? It gives me physical and thermal, both of which are very good elements on a Skell. Oh, the ether is not as good. That's just ether damage up. I definitely prefer one of the other ones. It has the best resistances, so if you're caring about that more, then this is definitely the Skell armor for you, but it's still got so much negative gravity resistance. That's actually a typical weakness of Skells, actually, that they just have terrible gravity resistance. In terms of Skell auto-attack weapons, it's good to have good GP ratings. So I think I'll take this Heat Edge for its spec-up melee attack buff. And this Rod for just being both really good and giving a ton of GP on hit. We've also got access to way more Skell weapons in the level 30 category than we ever did in the level 20 category. Of these, the SRM, whatever, Phoenix, is a very, very good one. Arguably the best one here. Its art is an AoE art that hits nearby enemies and inflicts taunt for tons of damage. It's got an unfortunate 60-second cooldown, but hopefully you killed everyone before you need to worry about that. And I've got a bunch of thermal attribute ups, so this is pretty nice for me. This G-Buster here does gravity damage, unfortunately, but it also inflicts stagger. Stagger's very valuable, so I think I want that. The level 30 Skells have accuracy up auras. These can be useful if you're fighting an enemy that avoids your attacks a lot, but generally the attack auras are better. You also get access to needle guns and miniguns in the side weapon, arm weapon slot once you reach level 30. I don't know if I actually want these, but the beam shields are still pretty bad. They just grant me various resistance ups. If you're fighting a specific enemy that you know uses a lot of a specific element, these can be useful, but most enemies do use multiple elements, so it's hard to recommend these. I think I'll just go with this needle gun. Why does this weapon that inflicts taunt have the time extension for blackout effects? The Asmodeus definitely wants you to be running thermal type weapons or physical weapons, but unfortunately those weapons are all ranged, which the Asmodeus does not want you running as much. I mean, I guess I'll take the Cracker BM and equip that, but I also gotta equip something that actually gives me a melee attack, so let's put on this V-Knuckle as well. The Asmodeus also becomes pre-equipped with a Heat Horn weapon, which is just one of my favorites. It has the critical up effect for 4, which is pretty darn good, and it's just an awesome art. I just want to get into a fight just to show off this art. Oh yes, I should really mention, Skells can jump far higher than a normal person can on foot. Meaning it can let you miss this, it can let you, come on, Asmodeus, listen to me. It can let you there. It can let you reach. It was Y to switch in and out of your Skell in the original. So I'm pressing Y to do that. And it's opening the map. Which is what Y does in this version. But as I was saying, you can use a Skell to reach higher spots than you could before. As far as I know, there's no areas that you specifically need a Skell for to actually reach. But it does make exploration a ton easier because you've got the vehicle mode that can just kind of go wherever you like. And go a lot faster than you could on foot. It makes collection easier because it collects items from a lot further away. Having a Skell really does make everything easier, except for combat. Anyway, speaking of combat, let's target this Sinicula, please. Please, game. It's right there. I'm trying to target it. Holy cow. Oh my god, it targeted it. There we go.
I'll pin him down. Give me some cover fire.
Cockpit time. When you get into cockpit time, it resets your art cooldowns. That's actually pretty good, and I missed the bind. God damn it. Whoops. Sure, I guess. Alright, let's try to stagger you again. There we go. Now, this is a bomb. While binding an enemy, you'll quickly regenerate fuel, and getting a perfect on those will let you regenerate even more fuel. Get out of here! Yeah! Thermal Bomber is another art that just inflicts stagger for free. It's so nice. I really like that art, a staggering amount. It's so good. Let's activate Overdrive and see how this works. Overdrive on all Skells allows you to activate cockpit time much more easily, which means you can send out a lot more arts. So I can just kind of send it. When you're in overdrive, this countdown will start. This will end when you end the battle, but it also ends randomly. The first 2 times the countdown ends, you are guaranteed to get an overdrive extension. And then it is simply a game of chance until it's over from there. I think the 3rd time you would extend overdrive, it's a 70%, and then a 40%, and then a 10% on your 5th extend, and there's no way to extend it past your 6th. All in all, this means that overdrive is soft capped to to 60 seconds. It is not Y to exit the Skell. It is not Y to enter the Skell. I will need to learn this. And I will probably make this mistake many more times before this series is over. I missed something pretty big during live recording. The chance for you to extend overdrive into the 3rd round is actually 50%, and then 0% at its base chance to extend to the next round after that. However, entering cockpit time increases these chances by 20%. So, entering cockpit time even more can extend your overdrive even further. It's still capped at 6 rounds, but you can get pretty darn far with it. They mentioned earlier that armor doesn't change Skell appearance, but what if you really want to make your Skell yours? Then you can go to the customization center in the Blade Barracks. Let's go to Barracks Hangar. From here, select your Skell, and you can rename it and customize its colors, as well as the other things you would expect to do with a Skell. This is surprisingly customizable. There's a bunch of different things you can select. Like the highlights there, these other highlights here, the visor, all the lights that show up. Or you can just go ahead and change everything all at once. Oh, why did that change it? I pressed B. You can also change the finish from gloss to matte, if you want to have a more metallic looking Skell, I guess. Well, now I'm actually gonna have to try because I turned it all white by accident. That's not red enough. There we go. That's a good red, I think. You can use the control stick to make coarse changes and then use the D-pad to make fine changes. Like, it goes this fast when I use the D-pad and this fast when I use the control stick. I'm not really a guy that does fine changes to cosmetic stuff like this, so good enough. While I'm here, I may as well register a pilot to this Skell, even though I'm not really planning on using it all that much. Just to say I did it. Neil now can have a Skell, I guess. The Skells registered to your characters will also appear here in the hangar. You can't touch them, but they're here. I honestly thought these would have collision because you can't ride them while they're in the hangar like this. Well, that's very silly, honestly. That really shouldn't be the case. That kind of stinks. But with that all done, that is everything I wanted to touch on. Oh wait, hold on. No, it wasn't actually everything I wanted to touch on. I forgot about something. Ah! It's not L! Medium weight Skells have a max GP at base of 6,000 instead of the usual, frickin' less than that. 3,000, that's the number. That's how much they have. This makes them definitely an option. Not necessarily always the best option, but definitely an option. Of course, GP does not come quickly. If you're using a medium type Skell, you're probably gonna want some kind of boost art for your GP, like Brachial Needle. Why do I not have a second side weapon? Whoops. And you'll also probably want some kind of GP raising augment. But with all that done, next time on Xenoblade Chronicles X, there's a brand new affinity mission that actually requires you to have a Skell. So we're going to be dealing with that. And we're going to be doing another thing that I forgot to tell you about. Enemies that are small enough will just kind of get crushed by your Skell while you try to walk by them. This was honestly really annoying in the Wii U version, because you couldn't pick up items just because you accidentally stepped on some Ovis or something. I just killed one by accident while killing the other one. Anyways, see you guys then.